Our objective for this lesson is to completely factor difference of two squares. But first, here are the answers in extra problems I gave in our previous lesson. Kindly write your scores in the comment section below. Now, let us talk about perfect squares. When we say perfect square, it is a term wherein you can take the square root evenly, meaning there's no decimal, there's no remainder. It is an expression multiplied by itself 2 times. For example, 25 is equal to 5 times 5. So 25 here is a perfect square. Let's have another one. X to the fourth is equal to x squared times x squared. So x to the fourth is a perfect square because we were able to take the square root of x to the fourth and multiplied it 2 times. It is easy to see if a variable is a perfect square. You may ask how? Simply divide the exponent by 2. Now, how about for the constants? You have to familiarize yourself with perfect squares, such as this. But it doesn't end here. Now, let's have a quick activity. Who's perfect? Are these perfect squares? If yes, what's the square root? X to the 10 is a perfect square because we can divide 10 by 2. So the answer is yes, and the square root is x to the 5th power. 36 is also a perfect square because 6 times 6 is 36. So 6 is the square root. 1 is a perfect square, and the square root of 1 is 1. Is 64y to the 7th a perfect square? For the constant 64, yes, it has a square root, which is 8. But for the literal coefficient, y to the 7th, we cannot divide 7 into 2 exactly. So the answer here is no. How about 100 y to the 8th? The square root of 100 is 10, and 8 is divisible by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So the square root of 100y to the 8th power is 10y to the 4th power. Previously, I have shown our concept map in factoring. Once again, the first thing that we have to do is to factor out the GCF, the greatest common factor. In this example, this is the GCF, while this one is the remaining factor or the other factor. Now, after factoring out the GCF, if there's any, we have to take a look at the remaining factor and ask ourselves, is it a binomial, a trinomial, or does it contain 4 terms? Today's discussion will focus on binomial. So the question that you have to ask yourself is it a binomial? If the answer is yes, take a look if it is a difference of 2 squares. If the answer is no to this question, move on to the next question. Is it sum or difference of 2 cubes? If the answer is still no, then we might have to go to the next step, which is examining if the remaining factor is a trinomial or if it has 4 terms. Today's lesson is all about binomial, that is difference of 2 squares. I will teach you how to factor difference of 2 squares. In symbol, this is a squared minus b squared. Difference because of the operation subtraction here. And 2 squares because of the 2 exponents that are both squared. Now, how do we get the factors? First, you have to form 2 pairs of parentheses, such as this. Next step, you have to write the square root of the first term on each parenthesis. The square root of a squared is a, so we're going to write a on the first term of each parenthesis. Next step, you have to write the square root of the second term on each parenthesis. The square root of b squared is b, so we have to write b on each parenthesis. Last step, we have to put minus and plus in between the terms. So we just have to put minus and plus here. Or it may interchange quantity a plus b times quantity a minus b. Let's have the first example. 3x squared minus 9. First question, is there a GCF? Is there a term that we can factor out from these 2 terms? Yes. So what would it be? We have to write it down as well as the remaining factor. The common factor of 3x squared and 9 is 3. So 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. Here is the factored form of 3x squared minus 9. Third step, we have to look at the remaining factor, this one, and ask ourselves, is it binomial, trinomial, or a four-term polynomial? Since there are two terms, then it is a binomial. Next question, is it a difference of two squares? Can we express it as a squared minus b squared? Let's take a look. For x squared, yes. But for 3, no. So the answer here is no. If that is the case, then you can't do anything else. Meaning, 3 times the quantity x squared minus 3 is the completely factored form. Let's have another example. X squared minus 81. Again, is there a GCF? Is there a common factor between x squared and 81? There is none. So let's proceed to the next question. Is it a binomial, a trinomial, or a four-term polynomial? Since there are two terms, then it is a binomial. Next one. Can we express it as a difference of two squares, a squared minus b squared? For x squared, yes. For 81, yes, because it has a square root. So the answer here is yes. So next step is to get the square root of each term and express it as a difference of two squares, quantity a minus b times quantity a plus b. So let us create the two parentheses. Next, we're going to get the square root of x squared, and that would be x. So we're going to write x here and another one here. Next one, the square root of 81 is 9. So we're going to write 9 here as well as here. And finally, we're going to put minus and plus sign in between. So quantity x minus 9 times quantity x plus 9 is the completely factored form. Try this. 8u squared minus 200v squared. So first thing that we have to ask ourselves, is there a GCF? Is there a common term that we can factor out from these two? Yes, there is. So we have to write the GCF first and followed by the remaining factor. 8 and 200 are both divisible by 8. While for the variables, we cannot factor out any because they are unique on both terms. So let's try to determine the remaining factor. 8u squared divided by 8 is u squared. Negative 200 divided by 8 is negative 25. And then let's copy v squared. Step 3, let us look at the remaining factor and ask ourselves, is it a binomial, trinomial, or a four-term polynomial? Since there are two terms, then it is a binomial. Question number 4. Can we express it as a difference of two squares? For u squared, yes, the exponent is already 2. Now, for this term, let's determine, is there a square root of 25? Yes, there is, and that would be 5. And for v squared, also yes, because the exponent is already 2. So the answer here is yes. Now, let us get the square root of each term and express it as a difference of two squares. First, the two set of parentheses. Next, the square root of u squared is u. So we have to write u here and another here. The square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of v squared is v. So we're going to write 5v here and another 5v here. And then we're going to attach the minus and plus sign in these terms. So let us copy this, and do not forget our greatest common factor, which is 8. This is now the completely factored form of 8u squared minus 200v squared. Let us do extra challenge, y to the fourth minus 16. Question, is there a GCF? There is none because this is only a variable while this one is a constant. Next question, is it a binomial, trinomial, or a four-term polynomial? Since there are two terms, then it is a binomial. Next, can we express it as a difference of two squares, such as a squared minus b squared? For y to the fourth, we can divide 4 into 2. So the answer is yes. For 16, we can take the square root of it and it is equal to 4. So the answer here is yes. So number 4, let us get the square root of each term and express it as a difference of two squares. First, the two set of parentheses. Let us get the square root of y to the fourth. We simply have to divide the exponent by 2. So that would be y squared. Y squared here and y squared here. For 16, the square root of 16 is 4. So 4 here and another 1 here. And then we're going to put minus and plus in between terms. Are we done? Let us see. Y squared is a perfect square. And 4 is also a perfect square. In this case, we have to examine if there is a factor that can be expressed again as a difference of two squares. And I have already tell you, y squared has an square root which is y, and 4 has an square root which is 2. So we are going to factor this again as difference of two squares. So we have the two set of parentheses. The square root of y squared is y and y. The square root of 4 is 2 and 2. And then we're going to attach minus and plus in between terms. Now, how about this one? Can we still factor this out? Because y squared is a perfect square as well as 4 is a perfect square? No, because the operation in between them is not minus. It is a plus. So this is not difference of two squares. So what are we going to do with this? We simply have to copy it. This is now the completely factored form of y to the fourth minus 16. For the summary, here are the things that we learned in this lesson. For a binomial to be a difference of two squares, two conditions should be satisfied. 1. There must be two terms, of course, and they should be both perfect squares. And number 2, there must be a minus sign between the two terms. That is why it is called difference. In symbol, difference of two squares. And I have shown you step by step on how to factor difference of two squares. And remember, the first thing that you have to do is to factor out a GCF, if there's any, before factoring it as difference of two squares. Now, it is time to check your understanding. Pause this video for more time. Factor 5x cubed minus 25x squared completely. So first question, is there a GCF? Is there a common term that we can factor out from these two? 5 and 25, we can factor out 5. X cubed and x squared, we can factor out x squared. This is the one with the lesser exponent. So the answer is yes. So if the answer is yes, we're going to write the GCF and the remaining factor after it. Again, 5 and 25 are both divisible by 5, so let's factor out 5. For x cubed and x squared, we're going to choose the one with the lesser exponent, so that would be x squared. Now let us determine the remaining factor. 5 divided by 5 is 1. We don't have to write it anymore. X cubed divided by x squared is x. For the next term, negative 25x squared divided by 5x squared, the x squared will cancel out, and negative 25 divided by 5 is negative 5. Here is now our GCF and the remaining factor. So number 3, let us look at the remaining factor. Is it binomial, trinomial, or a fourth term polynomial? Since there are two terms, this is a binomial. Can we express it as a difference of two squares? Definitely not, because our variable doesn't contain an exponent and 5 doesn't have a perfect square root. So the answer is no. If that is the case, we can't do anything else. So it means 5x squared times quantity x minus 5 is the completely factored form of 5x cubed minus 25x squared. Gets? You may want to practice more on this lesson, so here are extra problems. And again, watch out for my next video lesson where I reveal the answers to these problems. Our next lesson is sum and difference of two cubes.